Okay, today's assignment, an app icon. So this one was tough. Again, I think I've mentioned before, I'm not the best artist per se, but I think this is a good way to challenge me, especially in the graphic design space. And so here's what I did. So I just first wanted to get some user characteristics. So and it's not a ton of research, but my idea was to do an icon for a medical clinic, specifically like brain. It's for someone I've been doing some work for, and I call it VP clinic. So I think at a minimum, the requirements for the users are you have to understand or have to be able to see that um, okay, this is a brain clinic, and that it's the VP clinic. So I think having the words VP in there makes sense. Maybe I don't have to, but okay. So what I did first, I just traced this brain image, just to get like a general brain image, and I tried a couple of different things, and like I still don't know if I'm happy with what I ended up with. But these are just the ideas. I think I maybe have to learn a little bit more about illustration. But okay, so yeah, and these are like two ideas. Like one is more like with the brain stem, and the other one is just more of a rounded shape, maybe less intimidating. I found that maybe sometimes things are too realistic. You may not actually, yeah, if it's too realistic, it could be a little bit intimidating. I think um, for users. Okay, now trying to figure out some different fonts here. And again, just a VP for the initials of the clinic. And, and I don't know. Yeah, I was just digging through, and now I'm trying to play around with the kind of like the outline stroke of that brain, give a little bit more color. And yeah, playing around with this a little bit. Went with the dark blue for now. I think I ended up choosing a different color later. And then just looking through a lot of like pictures. So another idea was, okay, let me get a kind of like a silhouette of a person. So um, yeah, using I think an image trace tool to remove that. So now you have a person, an outline. So that worked out pretty well. Don't have to actually draw him. And playing around with should I put the brain inside? I've seen a couple people try that out, but it is a little bit busy, especially because this is an app icon. I don't think that it would work as well. I have to like simplify it a little bit. And now playing around with some things I saw, like having a circle on the outside. And then VP inside. That didn't. The more I played around with it, I felt like, oh, maybe this is not the right way to do it. To have that brain pattern. Maybe it's a little bit too much for, especially for like app icon. But again, I'm just playing around with some ideas. This time I was like, oh, what if I put a little bit of something inside the brain there? And I don't think much came out of that. Yeah, playing around with where I might put the text, and this is I think where I realized that the VP part has to be very clear. Okay, so now I noticed I try to round out some of the features of the person, just because I think like it may be a little bit don't want the features to be too prominent for an app. So I think just like to have something that looks more cartoony and actually not like a real person. Is sometimes more helpful. Like take out the details a little bit. So yeah, now playing around with this like VP idea. I realized the V kind of looks like a U, so I don't want that. Just get just a standard VP character. Um, yeah, try that out too. And then the last 10 minutes, I saw like some illustrations of the brain are more from the top view, so I thought, okay, maybe I'll try that out, you know. So using some of the examples I saw, traced out a brain. Yeah, kind of looks like a cloud, honestly. Um, okay, so yeah, kind of messed around with that. Got something that looks like a brain, and then yeah, throw that BP in there, throw the circle over. Try to size the text correctly, and maybe add a background. Wasn't sure about this, but um, that could work. And then maybe change up the color a little bit. I grabbed a color wheel to play around with some different colors. I thought maybe white was still the best way to go, and that was it. This is what I ended up with. I think these two are probably the ones I'm gonna uh, play around with a little bit more. So this is actually a project that I've been meaning to work on anyway. It just happened to overlap with the daily UI. But lessons learned. I would say maybe to have a little bit more of a structure to do visual design, especially for things that are graphic and visual design focused. I think some of the past UI designs were kind of user focused, and a lot of it was about understanding like what's the right workflow and then getting the right buttons and so on. But this one was very, very visual and graphic focused. So I feel like that's a space that I'm really not very experienced in. Um, but I think understanding that how do visuals affect someone, and how do they speak to someone. I haven't really done too much work in that. So yeah, I think there's a whole probably world of graphic and illustration and communication that I don't understand, and obviously I want to work on my skills a little bit more. I think I'm not the yeah I'm not I don't want to put myself down, but I think I know I need improvement in that visual design space. Okay, so that's it for today.